That's right, Margaret. And we were just actually talking Mayor Bloomberg here, and he gave a shout out to Foursquare checking in to TechCrunch Disrupt. So I have to ask the first question. You just talked about 700,000 check-ins per day. You just reached that. 1.3 million users. But is user growth slowing?
No, we're actually seeing an uptick in user growth. If anything, it's been consistent. We get a little tick at the end. So it's it's surprising that we're continuing to keep growing and growing even as we get bigger.
Now, obviously, I have to ask, one of the questions that everybody's been looking at is this whole idea of Yahoo acquiring you guys or going into that. You guys decided not to go that route. There was a $100 million reportedly investment that they were going to acquire you for you guys. Why did you decide not to?
Well, we don't really comment on a lot of that. Like, what we're trying to do is just put the company in the best position to build the things that we want to build.
Why was it not the best position to be with Yahoo?
Well, it's just, really what we're looking, specifically to do is like execute on top of our roadmap. So it might be working with another company, it might be, getting financing and staying independent. We're still trying to figure it out.
But Yahoo is out of the deal for sure? Or you definitely not?
Well, again, we just don't comment on a lot of that stuff.
Okay. The other question I had just regarding that is, do you think that you can get the valuation that people are talking about? Do you think that that is merited where you guys stand right now, the $100 million valuation that people are saying?
Yeah, I think there's a tremendous opportunity where we are. Like, we're just starting to do lots of interesting things. Like, we're reaching out to local merchants, and we're seeing that as a huge opportunity. We're reaching out to big consumer brands, and that's turning out to be a big opportunity. And it's still very, very early in the space, but I think we've gone a long way in a year. And I think if you look a year from where we'll be now, like, it's going to be even a bigger thing.
Obviously, you talked to one of our Bloomberg reporters about a month ago, and you said you were in the process. You were within a few weeks going to announce who you were going to get funding by, or who you were going to be acquired by. Are you any closer? Is there any more clarity to that?
Yeah, I kind of know what the roadmap is and how a lot of this stuff looks like. Again,
well,
it's like something we don't really share with.
Yeah.
No, we don't share that stuff. So
okay, but
we hold it very tightly.
When will we see some kind of financing by you guys?
Hopefully soon, because it's driving all of us nuts too, trying to figure out everything. But yeah, we'll let you know when we're here.
Okay, the other question I have to ask you is privacy issues. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about that. What have you learned from the Facebook and Google privacy issues? Because obviously you're kind of in the same space.
Yeah.
What have you learned?
Well, all of our stuff it's designed to be opt-in. It's designed to be really I guess, transparent with privacy. So whenever you check in anywhere with Foursquare, we ask you specifically, like, do you want to tell your friends, yes or no? Do you want to tell Facebook, yes or no? Do you want to tell Twitter, yes or no? I think the thing that we've learned is that, make it very easy to understand for a lot of users and make it all opt-in. Like, don't do anything without users specifically knowing about it, and ask them a question if you have, if there's anything that they need to figure out.
The space that you're in is a space that a lot of people are getting into. Does it make you nervous to see the Facebooks and the Googles of the world getting into this space, and how does that make you feel? Do you think you can continue to compete?
It validates that it's an important space and that there's a lot of interesting stuff going on. Yeah, they have scale, but like, we're small and scrappy, and we build things very, very quickly. And I think that's one of the advantages that we have. We've been thinking about these problems for a long time. And we've got like an amazing team of like 25 people in New York. They're just cranking this stuff out. And so I think we're a little bit of a force to be reckoned with.
When you look out at the other, do you think there's enough space for there to be this many competitors, or do you think that it's really going to narrow down to one or two people within this specific space?
I think there'll be one or two like big players in the space, but I think everyone can really contribute to it. Like, that's the big advantage to everything being open, is that we have this open API. People send us check-ins and people pull check-ins out of us. And a lot of other services are going to be playing the same way. Ron
Conway, the angel investor, said that you guys are conducting not an auction for dollars, but an auction for value-added service in the way that you guys are looking for funding. Where do you see the biggest value-added service possibly coming from? A few names of companies out there that you think could help you out. That
can help us out? Well, it's really anyone that we want to work with. Like, we talked to a lot of the folks at Yahoo, and we've talked to Google, and we've talked to Facebook, and they all have platforms. Like, we use Facebook Connect to leverage a social graph. We've been looking at Yahoo at using some of their local business systems. Same thing with Google. Well, again, we don't comment on any of that stuff. It's like we're friendly with all these companies. We talk to a lot of folks. Like, people read into the fact that we're just like meeting with folks, and it's nuts. And he's been meeting with a lot of folks, you guys. But thanks for meeting with us. We appreciate it, Dennis. Cool. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Back to you, Margaret.